So, I'm going away for business, or I'm going away for vacation. Actually, it's a working vacation, or a vacation with some work involved. Either way, next week I'm whisking off to a conference for my company where I'm supposed to be working, but will instead ignore most of all the conference and do all the touristy shit instead. So, the YouTube auditor might have a whole week of not being told to go fuck himself. Now, what was going to be a more light-hearted update video on the fact that I wasn't going to be here next week is actually going to take one of more bit of significant importance that I planned on, because on Monday, I am actually flying out to Las Vegas, and yes, the timing of this trip is certainly something you really don't expect in life. I mean, just a week ago, I was all excited to return to a city that I haven't been to since my early 20s. And then just 1 week later, Las Vegas experiences this horrific act of violence. You know, it really puts things in perspective, where just 1 week prior, I was all excited to see all the shiny lights of Vegas, take a mini vacation, and now there are countless families mourning the loss of their loved ones because one asshole decided to kill innocent people for no apparent reason. These people were minding their own business, enjoying an evening out at a concert, when this piece of shit decides to kill people for whatever fucking deranged reason possible. You know, you can't imagine the grief the families are going through right now, the trauma that the survivors must be experiencing, you know, especially with survivor's guilt, for people that feel helpless, like, you know, that they survived and others weren't so lucky, or that their family members weren't so lucky. You know, there's a certain helplessness that you have and feel in times like this, because all it takes is one sick human being to show why people can't have nice things, and you can be intact in the most unassuming and vulnerable manners possible. And then here I am, a video game channel, a gamer who's going to do a quick update on my video status next week, and that's such an insignificant blip on the radar at this point compared to the real world trauma that these people are actually experiencing. You know, I don't want to politicize this issue, I don't want to downplay the significance of this, but at some point, something's gonna have to be done in this country. I mean, every year there's a mass shooting like this, and every single year Congress has done nothing. Not even make attempts at preventing this. Things like this will never be fully stopped. We get that. But doing nothing means they won't even be slowed down either. Doing nothing means the next crazy asshole who decides to do this will have full access to weapons capable of mass murder, and all the politicians who oppose common sense gun laws will offer their condolences and prayers to the next group of people who lose their family members. You know, it's embarrassing that the United States has this kind of gun violence, which is on par with second and third world countries, and no other developed nation has these issues. Only poor and undeveloped nations top our death count ratio when it comes to gun violence and mass murders. It's embarrassing. And it's pathetic that every time something like this happens, our government literally does nothing. Sits back and does shit. The politicians that are financially backed by the NRA, they do nothing. They'll offer their prayers and condolences and their well wishes, yet not a single time have I ever seen a prayer or well wish stop a tragedy like this. The gun violence in this country has escalated well beyond what the Second Amendment was intended for 200 years ago. You know, we had just won a damn war for independence, and still 2 or 3 countries eyeing our land to colonize this motherfucker after a great war. Times were different back then. But the people who shaped the country understood that times required change down the road. If this isn't a time for change, then what the fuck is it gonna take? It doesn't make sense that thousands of people die each year from guns, but advocates will say that's the price of freedom. Innocent people dying, but hey, that's the price of freedom. People get shot every day, but hey, this is America, that's why it's free. Yes, we are free to make some of the stupidest fucking decisions possible, and not making a change, or at least attempting to make a change, is one of those stupid decisions that we've decided to make as a country. That being said, I'm still heading to Vegas next week. I know that the hotel I'm going to be in has Wi-Fi, and yes, I'm actually bringing my PlayStation with me. I know a lot of people could be like, wait a second, you're bringing your PlayStation over to Vegas? Yes, I am. You know why? Because I have large gaps in between this conference session, and my options are to mingle with corporate assholes, talk to a whole bunch of deadbeats that I want nothing to do with, or go back to my hotel room, get 2 or 3 hours of gaming in, play a little bit of fucking Destiny 2. Fuck that, I'd rather get some gaming in. Obviously, that's going to be in the middle of the day. Not sure how much gaming I'm going to get in, but essentially, I will try to get some playing in. Naturally, I'm also going to have my laptop with me, partially because I need to be doing work while I'm there, but I highly doubt I'll be doing any kind of commentaries while I'm there. This weekend before I leave, I might get to knock out a hipfire commentary or 2. So at most, that's what I would post up next week. So when you don't see videos from me next week, it's not because I disappear without a trace. It's because I'm preoccupied with other things while I'm doing that. Now, nighttime, of course, I would like to enjoy the city. But again, there's a certain bit of human guilt factor that almost makes you think twice about doing that. You know, I'm concerned with having fun and enjoying myself. Meanwhile, how many families out there are mourning the fact that something just occurred just a couple of blocks away from where I'm going to be staying? You know, that's just human decency. There's no doubt about that. It's hard to enjoy a night on Sin City and then not help but think what just happened the week prior. You know, I'm sure a couple of overpriced drinks and a few visits to gentlemen's clubs and getting smacked in the face with silicone titties will remind me I'm in Vegas. But at the same time, doing inappropriate things at an inappropriate time shows I do have a little bit of a conscience. It's not much of a conscience, but yes, I do have a bit of a conscience. Obviously, I'll return the week of the 16th, then I'll get back to my normal postings again. But when you guys don't see me next week, it's not because I disappeared, because I'm literally going to a conference on the other side of the coast, and it also happens to be in the city that was just recently attacked. So for now, if you guys don't see me, next time I'll be posting up will be October 16th. If I don't get to post next week, if I do get to post next week, it's because there's going to be some things that I had set in motion already. So anyways, as always, rate, comment, subscribe, and all that good shit. And I'll see you guys when I return from my conference in about 10 days from now.